Oh, YouTube and X, it's your main man BTM here, bringing you back to the BTM Crypto News Network. So thanks for joining. Uh, Happy Friday, and this is a AMA review. I didn't get to do it yesterday, so we're going to walk through some of the AMA today and talk about some of the super app. And I hope you get time to look at this video with Simon and Zach. I think that was uh Wednesday. Yeah, it was before. It's weird because it was right before the interview, right before the AMA. So perfect timing there. What up? Can't win by folding. Let's go. Definitely. Gotta know when to fold them. Gotta know when to hold them. But you gotta hold on, right? You can't just fold and think something's gonna happen. Hitter all day. What up with you, fam? What's going on? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'm loading up on more Zebec and decided today can't have enough. Build your wealth while it's dirt cheap. The BTF fam, let's go. And you're right, hitter all day. Thanks for joining. And you're right, I'm picking some up. I'm probably waiting for the next dip and picking up as much as I can possibly can because pretty soon it's not going to come back down, right? It's going to go up and stay up. So you better get it while it's down or on the next dip because I don't think it's going to be that many more dips left. But let's start the screen share and see what we can see. Yeah, I got a computer coming next week. So maybe that will fix the image thing. Haven't quite figured out what it is, if it's bandwidth or if it's what is that? Buffering or just plain old memory. We're gonna find out. We're gonna get it fixed and up and going. So thanks the guys that support the channel. Thank your super chats. Just trying to keep the lights on and make the BTM crypto news better for you guys. But shout out to the sponsor. Uh, Caleb and Brown. Caleb and Brown's crypto brokerage, 24/7 support, and give you a one-on-one broker. So if you're new to crypto and you're still learning and trying to figure out what are these keys and seed phrases and passwords and security information, uh, F2 authentication, and go with Caleb and Brown. Caleb and Brown will custody the crypto that you have, and you can ask some questions, kind of get up to speed on the crypto market. Or you hit your main man BTM up, and I can walk you guys through it. But either way, you definitely need some help, and don't try to do it alone. I started alone and ended up losing pretty good amount of money just because I didn't know what I was doing. But definitely reach out, ask questions, and go from there. So pushing forward, crypto bubbles. Let's look at the bubbles real quick. Lithium is down 10%. Alchemy pays up 5.7. Tau or TI is up 8.1. XPR is doing a little something, up 2.8 on the day, down 0.1 on the hour, 19.9 for the week is up 1.1 on the month, and up 149 on the year. So definitely a good investment. Just continue to hold, and we'll see what we can see. Hex is up 7%. I was about to say 7.2 and a change. Meta's up 1.6. ICP's up 0.5. Brett's up 0.6. Core is up 1.9. Tron's up 1.1. Binance is up 0.5. Near is up 0.9. Binance is up 0.1 on the hour, 0.5 on the day, 1.8 on the week, 1.9 on the month, and 30.7 on the year. Nautex is up 6.4. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong. Advantage is up 1.6. Covenant's Finance is up 1.5. Osmosis is up 0.8. Litecoin is up 0.1. Dogwood has up 1.8. Excuse me. Who is this? XPX 6900 is up 1.6. Render's up 7.5. Ordinar's up 1.5. Kato's up 2.7. Pepe is up 0.2. Mudan's up 0.8. Nexo is up 0.6. HTX is up 0.7. See here. Bitcoin is down 0.5, unchanged on the hour. For the week, it's up 0.6. For the month, it is down 1.2. For the year, it's down 1.8. That's not really too far, but it's still holding at the 90,000 range, 90,640. So that's good, right? As long as it stays above 90,000, things are moving forward. What is this? Looking for Ethereum. Why I never can find freaking Ethereum? Why is this so hard to find? That's weird. Maybe didn't do much today, so we'll just type it in. Save us some time. So for Ethereum, it is down 0.6 on the day, unchanged on the hour, down 1.2 for the week, down 6.9 for the month, and down 4% on the year to 3,088. As long as it holds to 3,000, things are good there as well. XRP is down 1.3 on the day, unchanged on the hour, up 3.1 for the week, up 2.4 for the month, down 7.9 on the year. And of course, the ZBCN token, the payroll processor you all know and love, the infrastructure setup of the future, is up 4.4 on the day, up 1% on the hour, up 22% on the week, up 5.8 on the month, and up 247 on the year. After the AMA we had yesterday, I was expecting a much bigger push, but we will see. So continue to hold there and diamond hand. Don't give up yet, because we're still in my camera went out. But let me know what you guys think about that as well. To make sure the sound is on. You can hear me. Okay, we're good. But yeah, let me know what you think about the price action. Do you think it was going to be higher or move more or the same activity? Let's see here. Close out the bubbles. So the overall crypto market is down 0.68%. Market cap is 3.09 trillion. The CNC 20 is $192.26, down 0.85. For the fear and greed index, we are at 41 is neutral, but we're inching back over to the fear side. Altcoins pushing up. Bitcoin dominant is closing, and we're at a 39 for altcoin season. That's the most I've seen it move in almost 3 months. But we will see. Let me see. The average crypto RSI is 47.1. See if we can try the camera again. It generally works better when the crypto bubbles. I don't know if it's a resource issue or not. But so this is the coin market cap CoinMarketCap has Zebec at 4.62% up in 24 hours. We're back at the 0030, which is good. 294.02 million market cap. I was hoping we get back to 300 million, but it's coming, guys. Just be patient. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think we're going to push up this weekend? Or do you think we are going to hold or be flat? Or you think a pump is coming next week? The market cap is 249. 24-hour trading value is 12.12 mil won, up 3.13%. So let me know what's happening there. So for the holders, currently we are at 93,861. Gonna pop over to that what is 91,000 mark within a day or two, not too far. 4 hours we added 4 holders, 12 hours we added 42 holders. For a day at 109, 3 days 247, 7 days 641, 2 weeks 744, 755. I'm tripping. And for the 30 days, we're back in the thousands, added 1,452. I like it. If you like it, I love it. Let's go. Moving forward, we see. So on X, and then we'll start with the AMA review. On X, there is another AMA. Next space coming up next Thursday, which is January 14th. Kicking off the conversation with Daniel Ahmed, co-founder of Faucet, which should be very interesting, in Own XYZ. Join the Faucet and Zebec as we discuss cross-border payments, on-chain neobank in Southeast Asia, including policies, adoption, and real-world use cases. And that'll be Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. CTE. Faucet is a leading fully on-chain neobank operating across 7 licensed jurisdictions with 2 million users globally and 7 billion in annualized volume. So that's definitely who we need to be checking on. Somebody with 7 billion in volume, right? That's right up our alley. We're proud to announce the Shadow as the quantum proof privacy partner for Solana cards. And I think that puts us at 28 chains, I guess. I gotta look. Shadow uses quantum cryptography, cryptography, cryptographic. I don't know. And a private execution to protect AI agents, X402 flows, and investors, keeping intent, timing, and strategies hidden from MEV. Mail? I don't know. Tracking and future decryption risk with 60K users and growing partnership to ensure every transaction is safe and future is ready. And this Shadow will be participating in a Solana privacy hackathon starting January 12th, which I think is next Tuesday. We're building our complete privacy stack from AI agents, quantum safe technology, and 402 infrastructure. And this is a little quick shot. Debec, and he's showing this people's, I guess, representation at what might look like. Or maybe this is a super app coming soon. It's got Zebec on there, so maybe I'll check out the Zebec site and see if that's there. Anyone else watching Zebec move millions of tokens to wallets owned by Coinbase and other top-tier exchanges over the past few weeks? They have the tech, and I feel they are about to get their token added to the top exchanges in the world. I hope so too, but we'll have to wait and see. Captain Zach and ZBCN. I think that's a song for some weird reason. Quantum computing coming to break the crypto wallets. Zebec just made our future proof with Shadow. If quantum breaks older chains, quantum secure networks become the safe zone, building next generation safety. And if you notice,
Quantum
Zebec
computers are
always
coming.
seems to
They could
be
destroy
a
most crypto
step
wallets,
ahead of
making
the
your
pack,
funds worthless
right?
overnight.
There's always something that they're doing that's ready for the future or being uh, opted for the future. So I don't know, but let's see what I forgot this guy's Crypto Chrome. I think Crypto Chrome has to say real quick. Let me start it over and then we'll go over to the review. Let's see what Crypto Chrome's
Computers
up
are
to.
coming, and they could destroy most crypto wallets, making your funds worthless overnight. Most blockchains today use cryptography that could be broken by powerful quantum computers in the future. Not today, but it's a real long-term risk. If quantum computers get strong enough to break older chains, networks that are quantum secure will be the safe zone for value. This is where Zebec is showcasing exceptional forward thinking. Zebec is building with the next generation of safety. They're partnering with Shadow, a post-quantum proof privacy expert, for Solana card transactions. Shadow uses cryptography that can be upgraded and already works with quantum-resistant signatures, so future attacks are much harder. This means your everyday spends stay private and secure, today and tomorrow. With over 60,000 users growing, Zebec isn't just payments, it's quantum-proof finance. Your wallet stays safe while others stay exposed. Will you hold ZBCN for this edge? Is this a game changer? Drop your price target below, $1, $10, or more. Hit that like button if you're bullish. Follow for more game changers. Quantum computers are coming. And
Bro, I'm really up here talking on mute and thinking what is really going on. So this is the beginning of the AMA, and they're going to start talking about kind of an AMA review, and we'll take it from there. Yeah, I wanted to make sure that I started this because it gets weird. Well, for some reason, my computer gets weird when you don't get started right away. I think it is something to do with um, X. X has some weird playback thing, and that takes it to get started. So see if we can pull it back up, and then I can go back to that 4-minute mark. So this is playing. Let's see if we can go to what is that? 4:15. It was so hard to get. Okay, that's close enough.
Well, look, welcome everybody to a product roadmap and tokenomics outlook for 2026. That's a bit of a a bit of a mouthful, but needless to say, it does exactly what it says it will do. And Simon and I caught up briefly this morning. Really excited. The objective today really is to kind of explain how real product usage is driving the ZBCN utility and why supply dynamics will turn. Well, I don't want to jump in too far. I want to let Simon go ahead and do that. But ultimately, what we want people to take away here is that it's a big year, and there's a lot going on, and Simon can go into detail on that. So welcome everyone. Over a month since we last caught up too. So much has happened. We're getting aligned for 2026, and let's get into it. Simon, first of all, how are you? Did you have a nice break?
Yes, a short break, but it still was a break, and we are back here now in the office, ready for a big year.
Yeah, and you've had some cool news in the last 24 hours, right? There's we crossed a line when it came to the amount of tokens staked. I saw
a huge milestone, hitting 10 billion ZBCN tokens staked. I think that represents 10% of the supply, over 15,000 wallets. So it's a great vote of confidence, and it's something that we achieved, I think, only 14 months after launching the staking program.
Fantastic. I think, I wonder if you want to, just before we hop into it, maybe just, I don't know, set the intention like for this session, because, as I've said, there's a lot coming up. But I think, first spaces back of the new year. Is there anything you want to kind of like just let the community know in terms of the intention for the next 30 minutes?
Well, we dropped revised, or I should say updated tokenomics yesterday, which I encourage everyone to read through, as they're very detailed and they really set the tone for 2026 and the next evolution of the ZBCN token. But I think what we want people to leave with today is really a clear mental picture of how Zebec products drive token demand and how supply dynamics change meaningfully from early 2026.
Dang it, I missed the part about the 10 billion staked. I think we rolled right through that. So I guess we can fast forward a little bit to the first part. Let's see, 8 something, 825. Let's start about here.
Or ZBCN come from in practice, and also maybe you could just go into a little bit of detail about the primary utility of ZBCN today, like when it comes to Zebec's core products, etc.
Well, ZBCN started as a governance token for the protocol, and it's expanded now into a utility token that's really core to the entire ecosystem and our product suite. If you start with our core product of payroll, employers need to pay the payroll and the service fees related to it in ZBCN. Previously, that was done in stablecoin balances as well, and now, even if they have the stablecoin balances, it will be routed through ZBCN in an auto conversion model. And this ensures consistent growing demand for ZBCN as the volume of the network grows, as well as further enterprise adoption coming into our payroll system. Outside of payroll, of course, we have the cards in the super app. ZBCN is going to be required to access features within the upcoming Zebec super app, which we'll go into more detail on later. And for Zebec cards, there'll be a major upgrade this year where rewards will be coming to the Zebec card suite. And these rewards will be directly linked to your ZBCN token balances.
Okay, love that. I'm not gonna even allow you to get to that later. I'm gonna pick you up on it right now. Super app, because this is something we were talking about a lot towards the end of 2025. I know that the team have been making huge strides to getting that in a position where you can launch. Can you bring us up to date?
So now they're gonna go over the super app. Simon's kind of gonna give us a breakdown and some details on the super app, and then I guess we can jump to the card blockchain. But let's play that real quick. What up, Throbbing Lantern? What's going on with you, fam? Thanks for joining. What up, Al? How's it been, bro? What up, BTM, ZBC? Bugatti, where you been, bro? You disappeared on us. I thought you would cast out your Zebec and living on the beach somewhere, man. You ain't been around in a while. I don't know what happened to you, fam. But yeah, Zebec is gonna pump soon, right? If they list this on Coinbase, I think it's not going to happen as fast as we think. I don't think the clarity is going to pass. I heard people say that they're still having problems with the Genius Act. They want to make some changes to it. So that's going to push the Clarity Act back slightly. So when that happens, it's going to be some time. So I think maybe March or summer. Some people are saying it's probably going to be after the midterm before they pass the Clarity Act. But let me know your thoughts on that. And let's push on up to the super app.
Where are we at with the super app and your incentive structure, and how? Here's another one for you then, maybe to frame that a bit better. How does the super app change the role of ZBCN compared to like a single product world that we've been living in before?
Great question. Well, we're all extremely excited. We are super close for the release of the super app. As I mentioned in the prior spaces, it is going to be phased out. Phased in different modules as we bring them to market. In the desktop version to start, followed by the mobile version later in Q1. So it's going to be a very exciting time, and we encourage everyone in the community to demo it, also to provide us feedback as we work on upgrading the stack throughout the year. The super app, in a nutshell, brings all of our products under one roof, of course, with card management, with payroll streaming, remittance as well will be added in coming months. So it really is going to live up to its name as being a super app, a one-stop shop for all your financial needs, whether it's receiving your payroll, managing your Zebec cards, or sending money abroad to friends and family. Now, bringing this to the ZBCN token, ZBCN will be used as the access and incentive asset for the super app. So to unlock different features of the super app, you will need to use ZBCN or have staked balances of ZBCN, which can also unlock reduced fees or better pricing. So if you want to use the super app, you're going to have some ZBCN in your wallet to make it short and simple.
I love that. I love that. And in terms of like availability around the world and all of that kind of stuff, so I think, do people need to sort of like start to clue up in terms of like where they are and how they can use it, etc., or will there be more comms that come out to kind of like explain how it works?
There will be regional restrictions for some areas, depending on what part of the app you're using. So cards, of course, we don't serve every single country in the world. We serve the majority of them. So you'll expect that, but I think there'll be some functionality of the app for people no matter where they are in the world.
Absolutely brilliant. And then,
So yeah, what up, Throbbing Lantern? And Zebec definitely unstoppable. Gonna fast forward to they're talking about the card and the blockchain. Somewhere in here. What? Hard drive scan? Yeah, we'll start about right here.
Ben, are you
We're
there?
talking about blockchain.
oh gosh, I was talking away there and I was on mute. Sorry about that. I was talking about how you'd mentioned cards, and I didn't realize 20 chains. That is a great deal, like a lot of blockchains to cover, a lot of projects that you supported last
And more
year.
to come.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if we hit 30 this year.
Well, bring us up to date then on kind of like cards, real world spend. Like, why are the cards such an important part of the ZBCN story going into 2026?
Yeah, I mean, to think about it, the reason we launched the Zebec cards all the way back in Q4 2023 was really to have a seamless off-ramp for payroll, right? If you're going to get paid in stable coins, you're going to need a way to spend it, right? That was the thinking behind it. And the Zebec card business has really morphed into a successful entity of its own, potentially, with demand from retail users that are not necessarily using Zebec payroll, but just for their everyday spending, as we offer 3 different cards for 3 different use cases. And then also the growth of our white label program, where we now have nearly 100 different white label cards out there, which has driven a lot of the demand and volume growth in Zebec cards. So we want to continue that great momentum this year. We are upgrading the entire card experience by bringing it within the super app. That means users of our silver and carbon card will have a much better user interface, an easier way to manage their loads and see their transactions and spending, and manage all their cards in a single app. So we're really excited about that, and we think that volume is going to take off and grow further this year with all these upgrades.
Massive. And as a user, I can't speak highly enough of the experience. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that upgrade kicks in. So love that. Thank you for covering that. Right, I realize we're moving across a broad range of topics here, Simon, and I apologize. I just want to get the most out of this session for the community, given that it's a big year ahead. We've had, I want to, I think, jump into, so sorry for being slightly schizophrenic here. I want to jump into staking, I think. And you mentioned at the top the top of the show there that we're just past 10 billion token staked. That's incredible, amazing ecosystem participation. Let's talk about then that participation and broader ecosystem this year. Like, what additional features, if any, are coming to the fore?
Well, you're right. We did hit a monumental milestone today, reaching 10 billion or 10% of the total supply of ZBCN stake in a mere 14 months. We're excited to see this grow further. We're excited to see more community members and ecosystem participants buy into staking. And we will be making meaningful upgrades to staking this year. So for one, the staking website will move within this super app in the month of January. So look out for that change. And then we'll have further announcements on updates and upgrades to how ZBCN tokens are staked and how staked ZBCN token can impact and unlock features of the super app.
Okay, I've got it. And okay, so so many things to cover. Right. While we're talking then about the token, give me some tokenomics talk. As this is where I think some people, some projects tend to kind of overcomplicate things a little bit. But I am really, really interested to talk about mechanics. Can you explain what changes are coming in 2026 when it comes to ZBCN supply and tokenomics, and why we've chosen to implement those now?
Well, let's take a moment here and zoom out a little bit and really look at where we are with the total token supply dynamics. It's called ZBC. This was the initial Zebec protocol token that launched in March 2022 and then migrated to ZBCN in April with no new supply being created or destroyed as part of that process. So now we are approaching the end of the vesting period for ZBCN. The final unlock schedule is completed by March 2026. So in 2 months, there will be no new supply ever entering the market again for ZBCN. A lot of our early investors and venture capital backers have already realized their returns. And now the Zebec Network is entering what we would call its mature phase with a fully distributed token buyback program that is directly linked to product revenue. Last year, we bought back nearly 200 million tokens. If you look at the full 2 years we've run the buyback program since the end of 2023, it's grown roughly at a 70% annual rate. And as we see acceleration in the usage of our cards and our payroll, we see the buyback program growing significantly in 2026. So to sum it up, no new token supply ever entering the market after March 2026, and growing buyback with the growth of the business.
Awesome. Can we touch upon governance and maybe some more kind of like long-term alignment? I know everything that we've been, a lot of what you've been striking against here has been kind of like instant things that have been happening. But from a longer-term perspective, how should people think about governance then, now that Zebec is operating alongside, really regulated financial services?
So ZBCN has always been the governance token of the network, which really means that you can vote on chain, and your votes are based on your balances of ZBCN. We've run Zebec improvement proposals over the years when key network decisions have to be made, such as the migration from ZBC to Zebec Network, of course, and we see more of those potentially coming this year. It's very important for us to make sure that the governance of the network is also aligned with really our real world operational constraints. At the end of the day, there is a business underneath of all of this. It just happens to be a tokenized business.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to be conscious of everyone's time, and there's a lot of information for people to kind of absorb here. So I'm going to slow it down a second as we kind of like draw toward the end of my questions for you. I want to, I guess, focus on the mind shift that I think some community members would benefit from deploying, because I'm seeing ZBCN demand here being driven by like payroll usage, super app participation, the card system and the card spend, and staking and other incentives from that perspective. And then Supply dynamics are obviously going to be shifting post-March unlock, and token mechanics are becoming more aligned with the business's success. So, Simon, if someone checks back in on Zebec and ZBCN a year from now, what do you expect to look fundamentally different? And if you were a community member and not the guy in charge, how would you kind of position yourself this year when it comes to kind of like, you know, moving and following the narrative of what ZBC and Zebec are trying to achieve?
Well, if you look at last year, 2025, I'd say we achieved a lot in a very short period of time. We laid the groundwork in terms of infrastructure and compliance initiatives to ensure that Zebec is ready for this wave of institutional adoption that's expected to hit crypto, or already is hitting crypto, and it's expected to continue through 2026. If you look a year out and say we have the same spaces in January 2027, my view is you're going to see more employers and institutions out there holding ZBCN, both for users of the payroll system that need ZBCN, as well as investors and corporate treasuries and potentially ETFs. On the retail user side, we're expecting to see tens, if not hundreds of thousands, interacting with the Zebec Super App on a daily basis and using and requiring ZBCN to unlock and use the features of this app. I expect to see the staking program grow further, with a larger share of supply locked and staked and removed from the market through the buyback program as well. And then a very clear feedback loop between the growth of the product, which we're going to continue to push on and scale this year, and the token mechanics, either through the usage of the token for the products or the buyback program that we have with Zebec cards.
Massive. So much going on. Thank you so much for going through all that with me. I want to take a moment then before we finish just to get your view on the market more broadly, because you obviously, you know, you move in the right circles. I know you travel a lot with work.
So that was the AMA. Let me know what you guys think. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you love it? Was it enough information for you, or were you expecting more? This is back to that quantitative proof. We're proud to announce Shadow has our quantum proof privacy partner for Solana card transactions. And this is a big one, powered by post-quantum cryptography, which is weird, could be, and private execution. Shadow is locking down the future of payments across the Zebec Network ecosystem. What this means for Zebec and the pirates' intent, timing, strategy, fully protected AI agents. I gotta look up what this X402 is. Payments flow shields, MEV resistance baked in. No tracking, no future decryption risk, no leaks. With 60,000 plus users and growing, Shadow ensures every BTCN powered card transaction secure today and future ready tomorrow. This isn't just privacy, this is the next generation PayFi defense. This is outlaw grade protection. This is the ZBCN building for the future, for the next decades. For real-time payroll, global card spend, Zebec stays fast, compliant, invisible, quantum threat, no. MEV hunters. I mean, what the freak is this MEV? Surveillance, finance, pirates sail protected, outlaws move in silence. So this is the user agent Solana card, Shadow, the ZBCN privacy core, post-quantum cryptography, private execution, encrypted intent, and routing, MEV resistance. What is this MEV? I gotta check that out. But this is the video from, I guess, Wednesday, or maybe Thursday. Had to have been Wednesday. This is Zach and Simon talking. I was watching it earlier, so I'm going to run through this real quick before we call it an evening.
Quietly building for many years at Zebec. I've been around from the very start.
I'm up here really talking on mute. But what is up, Silver Days? Welcome back. We missed you, but thanks for joining. I'm just playing. You were on the live earlier. Shout out to Silver Days, one of the hardest working guys on the BTM crypto network team. But as going, let's get back to the video and I'll be right back.
Launched the company back in 2021. We had our first version of the product. We went out and raised multiple rounds of VC capital. But my background was always more of a Wall Street institutional background. So my focus very early on was M&A, building out our team at Payroll Growth Partners, which is a subsidiary of Zebec, and really scaling the company. And then last year, I took over as the CEO. Given that a lot of my background and skill set dealing with larger corporates and enterprises positions us really well for our next stage of growth, as well as the direction that the crypto market is and will continue to go.
Right. Now, I was curious, is Sam involved in the ecosystem anymore? Any role that he plays?
So Sam is no longer actively involved in the day-to-day, but he is still an advisor to the company, of course, being the original founder, and he helps us in certain areas.
Okay, great. So you just took over the ship. You're steering this thing right now. And what are you most excited for as we go into 2026 as the CEO of Zebec?
I mean, 2025 was really a landmark year for us. I would say that a lot of people discovered Zebec for the first time in 2025, which is great. But we did spend most of the year building the groundwork and the foundation for the payments network that we're building and bringing more clients onto this year. So the keys last year were compliance, upgrading our product stack and our technology, bringing on select new team members. 2026 is all going to be about adoption and growth. Larger corporates, enterprise clients coming onto the Zebec network, as well as our global expansion really outside of our core market of the US.
Yeah. I got to say too, when I read through your advisors and I looked at who you guys have on your advisors and on your team, it is fully stacked, and people that have been at high level positions within other payroll companies. And so I'm excited to talk about that utility. You just rolled out the tokenomics this morning. I was really enjoying reading through it, enjoying my coffee with so many projects that, launch new tokens or, create more inflation. It was such a pleasure to read through the updated tokenomics this morning. You guys are sticking to the unlock schedule, which concludes in March, and you basically are just adding more utility and more usage of the token. So what's the TLDR of the updated tokenomics?
Those are all great points. And I think the way to think about it is that the ZBCN token is really the network evolution of the original ZBC token, which launched all the way back in 2022. Back then, we were just a payments-focused protocol on Solana. Now we're a multi-chain, multi-product financial network. So the tokenomics need to reflect this larger scale that we're going after. So what we've done, I encourage everyone to read through it as well as listen to our spaces this week where we're going to do a deep dive. But in short, ZBCN is going to need to be used as fees to cover the fees of all the payroll products that the employers use. Employers can either buy the ZBCN directly or use their stablecoin balances to then convert into ZBCN to pay fees. They're going to need ZBCN to access different areas of the upcoming Zebec Super App, which is launching later this month. And then, of course, we're also going to be upgrading our staking program, which has been wildly successful. We're bringing that under the roof of the Super App and making some updates to how that all runs.
So before, did clients not have to use ZBCN for the payroll solutions? What changed?
In the past, there was the option to use stablecoin balances for the payroll solutions, and now all is going to have to route through ZBCN.
Okay, great. And you guys have been doing a lot of buybacks. I tallied up over 170 million. I don't know if you have the exact number for 2025, but it was a lot of ZBCN that you guys bought back.
Just around 200 million. You're right.
Wow. And you guys are using revenue from the cards and the payroll solutions, or just the cards to do these buybacks?
So the buybacks currently are just for the Zebec cards. The Zebec card program launched at the end of 23. That's when we started the buyback program, and we've been super consistent with it ever since then. I think if you look at the numbers, the buyback volume has grown about 70% per year since then. And we're expecting that to increase as we grow and scale the card program. Of course, we've added new cards last year with the addition of the carbon card. We're adding a new app through the super app to manage your cards. So we expect that volume to grow. And as a result, buyback volume will continue to grow as well.
The numbers on your cards are, quite an increase. And so how many chains have connected? And can you just run us through how this card program actually works?
Yeah, so we're proud to say that there's really no other card provider that does support natively as many chains as we do. I think Dash was actually our most recent chain, and that makes it our 19th chain. So very soon to be 20 chains. We support over 100 tokens. We work with clients in over 100 different countries. In terms of volume, given the program is only 2 years old, it's quite impressive that we've already hit 65 million in annualized volume at the end of 2025. We're expecting to double those numbers this year, if not more. And the way the card program works is we have different cards for different use cases. We have a fully loaded debit card, which is great for everyday spending. There's an application where you can manage it all. And then we also have instant, more privacy-focused cards like the silver and the carbon card. And the beauty of those is that they connect seamlessly to Zebec payroll. So as Zebec payroll grows and more people are getting paid in stablecoins, as a result, those products also grow.
Right. And so does this allow you to spend that crypto using the debit card, or how does that function?
Exactly, right? You receive your payroll in USDC, for example, rather than having to route it through a bank, through an exchange. At a click of a button, you can move it onto one of the 3 different Zebec cards that we have.
And can you run me through the process of the revenue that you guys bring in from the cards, and then how much of that you're determining is going to go towards buybacks?
Well, we don't have a fixed formula for it. Of course, there are expenses related to the card that we have to take out. And so think of it as really our gross margin on the cards that go towards the buybacks.
Okay. So that's great. You guys are growing that substantially, almost approaching a couple dozen chains, a bunch of different tokens, and that's fantastic. I wanted to ask you, though, we're seeing a lot of credit cards and debit card programs roll out. The big difference seems to be this one allows you to spend the crypto versus other ones you're spending fiat and then getting crypto rewards. Is that the big difference?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of them. I think the way to really think about it is, for us, it's a seamless instant product. You can get a Zebec Silver card or a Zebec Carbon card in under 30 seconds or less, right? They are not cards where you can go spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. They are lower limit cards, and as a result, they're lighter on KYC. They're easier to set up. So we have that edge. And then if you want to have the full-blown debit card experience, which does require a lot more verification, you go with the Zebec Black card.
Awesome. Now, going into the payroll solutions, I got over 400 million in annual payroll volume processed, 12,000 employees served, and 250 plus enterprise clients. Do those numbers check out for you? And what's the update on payroll?
I think the payroll volume was actually closer to 500. But we're doing, they're doing the year-end tally now, and we'll probably put out an updated metrics report soon. We've seen a lot of growth this year in the payroll side. Our sweet spot still is really companies in the 50 to 350 employee range, where they're nimble enough to make these changes, and it's fast enough for us to go in and implement it. I can give a few examples as well of some areas that we've seen traction in. For one, education, logistics, and hospitality. Those have been our top 3 sectors this past year. We work with a number of charter schools. For example, one of our largest clients is a charter school in California. They've been working with PayBridge actually for 10 years, which is one of our subsidiaries. It's a company that we bought a few years ago. And we converted them onto pay cards to let the faculty handle their expenses and their reimbursements. And last year, we introduced stablecoin payouts for teachers at the school as a way for them to get paid in advance of the 2-week pay cycle. So as in just using this as an example, you really see the wedge here as the convenience of the card, as well as the speed of getting your payroll before the typical 2-week or 30-day pay cycle. And that's what's been driving a lot of the adoption for us.
Could you name off a few of these enterprise clients that we might know? I like that example. That's a great example, but any more that you could mention off offhand here?
All of our clients are under confidentiality in our contract, so I can't really name names, but
Okay.
do expect us to do some case studies and potentially even a spaces with one of our clients if they agree.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. Now, you mentioned PayBridge, right? Did I get that correct? Okay.
Yep.
You guys just made at least 4 acquisitions in the past year, maybe more. And so can you speak to these acquisitions that you've made and how this is fitting into your business model?
So I'd like to think Zebec as being one of the first crypto companies to ever do an M&A strategy. We went out in 2022. We raised a purpose SPV specifically for acquisitions. The idea initially was to build scale in the payroll sector by acquiring PayBridge and other payroll companies, which really got us from 0 to where we were last year. And then last year, we turned our attention to filling in different areas of the stack where we didn't have internal expertise. We bought GateKnox in June, which is an integrated KYC and KYB provider, which we're going to be integrating in the super app and other products, so we don't rely on outside providers. And we also bought ScienceCard, which is one of the leading debit card solutions for universities in the UK. And this was our first foray into Europe. And we've seen a lot of good growth there in terms of converting students from traditional debit cards to crypto-based debit cards.
And how valuable has it been? Some of those advisors and key team members, what I'm looking at here is they come from the biggest payroll companies in the world. And so can you speak to how valuable those members of your team and board have been?
Well, at the beginning, it took a little bit of convincing to get former C-suite executives at companies like ADP to join a crypto upstart. But they've been with us for years now, and they've been instrumental to our success. I mean, just to give you one example, we would never even have met the PayBridge team if it wasn't for Lisa Robbins. And Lisa Robbins is one of our longtime advisors. She was a CFO at ADP back in the day. She has enormous reach in the US payroll industry. So they help us, understand an industry that they've been in for more than 50 years and really help us steer the ship.
When I first came across your project last year, this was my concern, is that some of these traditional players would be able to bypass you, work around you. And then when I realized that some of their C-suite executives were on your board, I went, wait a minute, that doesn't just happen by accident, right? And so that was very interesting. But I just want to ask you directly, what is the big threat or competition to, Zebec Network and growing out the usage of ZBCN with these traditional companies? I mean, is there a possibility of them adopting your technology? How do you think about that?
It's a great question. And the way we view it is, these traditional payroll companies are not our competitors. They are our potential sales engines. We partnered with Assure last year. Assure is a top 20 payroll company. They're not an ADP, but they're doing, I think, north of $5 billion, $10 billion in annual volume, millions of employees paid. They're now working with Zebec. They were the first major payroll company to do it. We're knocking on the door of ADP, Paychex, Paylocity, all the big guys. And we really think it's just a matter of time before they do start working with us in some capacity, given that we do have a 3 to 4 year head start, given we were building during a bear market. We were building when no one was talking about crypto, before there was a Genius Act. July comes of last year, the Genius Act passed. All of a sudden, we're getting calls every day from companies that want to work with us in some capacity.
And what's the total addressable market here for just payroll alone?
Payroll in the US is an $11 trillion market, which eclipses a lot of other payments sub-ecosystems. And then globally, I think you're looking somewhere between 20 to 40 trillion.
It's funny, Simon, I've always said in regards to crypto and finding projects to invest in, solving the $1 trillion problems is what turns me on, And so when you mentioned the addressable market is not just 1 or 2 trillion, but 10 trillion plus, that's what we love to hear. You mentioned the super app, and I'm just loving what I'm hearing so far, Simon. This is great, and just a lot of momentum coming into 2026. The super app is launching later this month. What's going to be on that app?
So the super app is going to be an amalgamation of really all of our products at Zebec in one single interface. We're going to be rolling it out throughout the month of January and February in different phases, starting with card management. So there's going to be a completely new interface for managing the Zebec cards, which is going to be a lot easier to see your transactions, manage multiple cards, loads funds on the card. It's going to tie in seamlessly with payroll streaming, meaning that you can move funds at a click of a button from your payroll streams onto your various Zebec cards. We're going to bring staking into the super app as well. And then later in Q1, expect to see a mobile version of the app as well. So it's going to start with desktop, and then we're going to bring it to mobile, which is critical for us because a lot of people want to do things on their phone these days, and having one single mobile app for all the Zebec products is going to be the way we're moving next year.
And you guys have been putting compliance first from the very beginning. We see that you just got the ISO 222 certification, but that was just one. There's a few others as well there. And then you also were added as a member of the NACHA Alliance as well. So can you speak to the compliance that you guys have been focused on and then getting added to that NACHA Alliance as well?
Absolutely. I mean, looking back on 2025, compliance ended up being one of the biggest themes of the year. I don't think we all expected that starting out the year. But in the matter of 6 months, we achieved SOC 2, we achieved our MiCA compliance in Europe, as well as at the end of the year, our ISO 2022 compliance, which are all really important standards for us as we seek to work with larger corporates and larger institutions that require you to have these certifications in-house. A lot of crypto companies do not have good internal processes, and as a result, bigger corporations are hesitant to work with crypto companies. So Zebec wanted to get ahead of this and say to the world that, look, we're doing everything right internally. We're bringing on experts from industry, and we want to essentially be at the level of the major banks when it comes to payment standards.
In the NACHA Alliance?
So NACHA has been a group that we've been in conversation with for actually many years through PayBridge and some of the PayBridge connections. And NACHA has been very interested in bringing stable.
What up, Peter? What's going on? They say Zebec followed Onyx chain as BlackRock is in Onyx as Onyx is a BlackRock. Okay. Very bullish on Zebec. Yeah, you're right. I did see that what they're following. And I think Onyx, I don't know if Onyx partnered with BlackRock or if they're the same company or if they work together, but there is a connection with BlackRock and Onyx. But thanks for joining, and let's get back, kind of finish this video from Zach Richter, and then we'll go back to X.
Technology to the forefront of the ACH network in the US, which they are managing. So Zebec joined that late last year. Expect to see some marketing between Zebec and NACHA around stablecoin usage in the US, upgrading the ACH network. And I believe we're actually working on a webinar or spaces with them in the coming weeks.
This is incredible. Love what you're putting down here so far. And I want to get into the US market unlock. But Simon, real quick, as far as your clients, you have, worldwide coverage with the cards. With your payroll solutions, I just wanted to see, are most of your clients in Europe, America? Is this worldwide? Where are they?
They are primarily in the US. That really speaks to kind of the history of the company, where we're based, where PayBridge has been based, etc. But we do have global ambitions. And I think really the next step here is to focus on growing our cross-border flows, particularly for international contractors, before we make a big footprint in another company to grow payers or another country to grow payroll there.
Awesome. Okay. And your thoughts on the looming Clarity Act getting signed here in the United States, or a version of market structure? Obviously, you guys are already growing and have relationships with companies here, but how important is the Clarity Act going to be for your company and then broadly speaking for our industry?
Well, if you look back to the Genius Act, that ended up being an enormous catalyst for Zebec and everything that we're doing on the stablecoin payments front.
Right.
My view is that the market structure bill is going to help clean up a lot of the bad actors in the industry, bring transparency to exchanges and market makers, and hopefully just level the playing field a little bit for retail investors in the crypto space. Given all the manipulation and volatility we've seen in the market this past year, a lot of that will hopefully be washed out through the passing of the market structure bill, and really let projects that are building, that have real revenue behind them, real product usage, come to the forefront. And you see, a lot of these kind of fake tokens and scam tokens be washed out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be massive, and I'm really excited to see, other jurisdictions have brought forward their regulations, and so it's just we're going to have worldwide coverage, rules of the road for everybody, and I'm glad to hear that you got a massive footprint here in the U.S. and you'll be expanding out to other areas as well. That's going to be fantastic. Speaking of expanding, ZBCN is on Solana. Any plans? I know some of the products are multi-chain, but any plans to ZBCN on other networks expansion there? Speak to that.
It's a great question, and you're at one of the themes that you're going to see back on 6. Of course, our home, I mean, we've been backed by Solana Ventures. That's been our home for many, many years. But in our view, payroll streaming should not be contained to Solana. And this year is the first year that we're going to really expand that outside of Solana. Of course, the Zebec cards are already working in 19 different chains, and we're going to see the payroll now coming onto some more payment-focused blockchains. So we're going to start with Stellar, with XLM. We've been working with them now for months, and we're going to be making an official announcement in the coming weeks about Zebec actually launching payroll on the Stellar blockchain and tapping into the Stellar remittance network. We also think that XRP and XRPL make a lot of sense as well, and will be a focus for us in 2026.
Have you guys had any conversations with Ripple?
We have. I mean, we've actually been in talks with Ripple and the RLUSD team particularly.
So as he mentioned, they got a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline. Silver Days, Zebec. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit your main man up with a super chat. Just trying to keep the lights on over here on the BTM Crypto News Network. I remember saying 0022 was the bottom. It hit it twice, then soared. I was right and bought heavy both times. Well, Peter, if you're right then, you're probably going to be right now. So what do you think the next bottom is? Because I'm definitely going to pick up as much as possible. After the series of announcements, I don't think it's going to go back down too far. But let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. And let's finish the video up.
For the bulk of last year. We've integrated RLUSD across the Zebec cards, kind of as our first step in this partnership. And we're looking at bringing real-time payroll to Ripple for us. That's actually one of our big priorities this year. But we're just working with the team to ensure, the right way to do it and the right time to drop it.
Yeah, it's funny. I was going to push back because I appreciate, you guys are leading in M&A when it comes to crypto. And I would say the only other company that I see making moves is Ripple, right? They're making acquisitions. You guys are making acquisitions. And I know our community is very excited to see a potential partnership or collaboration, that interoperability. We are very excited to see that. So I'm excited. So you can confirm Stellar. That's fantastic. Maybe XRPL. Any other chains that you're considering?
Absolutely. I mean, there's a number right now that we are in talks with. We have the legal departments working on documents. So once the super app goes live, from there, we're really going to focus on bringing new blockchains in, because our goal is to be a network that connects all chains. So regardless of what chain you want to use, you'll be able to use Zebec now.
And back to Ripple real quick. Is it mostly the RLUSD team and implementing stablecoins for payouts that Ripple is talking with you about, or is there something else there too?
Stablecoin payouts with RLUSD, stablecoin streaming with RLUSD, and then cross-border payments potentially with XRP. So there's a lot right now that's kind of under the hood.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we'll be excited to watch that. That's fantastic. Now, I wanted to ask you about privacy. This has been a hot topic in the crypto space this last year, zero knowledge proofs. How is Zebec Network adding and building out privacy features for your network?
It's great to see that privacy really blew up in last year. With Zebec, we obviously have our Carbon and our Silver card, which we like to call more private cards. And that's really fit the privacy narrative well, but we're taking it to the next level this year by integrating privacy-focused blockchains into our stack. So as I'm sure you've seen, we've announced a partnership with Dash and an integration with Dash. We're working with a few of the other bigger private blockchains, and then some privacy-specific protocols to mask on-chain spending, as well as payroll. Because at the end of the day, when you really think about it, both employers and employees do not want their payroll data showing up on a public blockchain, right? That doesn't do anyone any good, and Zebec is very cognizant of that.
Now, how much ZBCN is being staked right now? And is there multiple platforms for you to stake Zebec, or what's the main function of staking Zebec?
So we launched Zebec staking, I would say 14 months ago, the end of 2024. And I believe this week we are going to cross 10 million tokens staked, which is 10% of our total supply. And we only do it on our own native staking platform, stake.zebec.io. We only let you stake up to 5 million tokens. So when you think about it, this 10 billion tokens is spread over, thousands of different people that are all backing Zebec. They believe in our vision. They believe in what we're building towards. And as I said earlier, we're going to be keeping staking as is, with slightly different terms and potentially also part of our super app. So the user experience will be more seamless, keeping it all within one application.
Any plans to have a ZBCN ETF issued in America or other places? Have you been in any conversations, any interest in that?
Well, yes, there's been a lot of conversations last year, both on the ETF side as well as the digital asset treasury side. ZBCN has been included in Bloomberg's DeFi index in certain months of last year, which is a benchmark for asset selection for ETF. So it really wouldn't
Probably hit it this weekend. So you're saying it's going to go down or go up, Peter? I'm piling in even my lunch money, get staked for 4 months. Yeah, I was thinking that too, because as they mentioned in the AMA, right, to use the super app, you're going to have tokens and you're going to have stake tokens. So I'm throwing as much as I can in staking and just holding it out instead of moving it around. Just put it in a Zebec and I'm going to get it ready to stake on the super app and just leave it staked there, right? Or I might stake it now. But I think excuse me, I think you got to stake it for a couple months. So I might wait and stake it on the super app versus doing it now and until you got to unstake it or something else happens. Probably hit this weekend. What are you staking? No lie. All you really need is 1 million Zebec. We'll see. But I did I staked some what is this? Atoms? Something? Chrono Atoms? What is this? I staked what is this? What? 1 cent processing. Yeah. Atom. What is the actual? Oh, that's weird, actually. Yeah, I guess it is Adam, but I'm trying to get the full name, but it didn't really tell me the full name. That's weird. Uh, anyway, so the Adam ticker, I don't remember what the actual token is. You get 15% staking every 5 days, bro. So I'm definitely after been playing with that and I'm staking some tau, and I realize I'm completely missing the game here, bro. It's free money. I think what is this guy? Black Roo said it, right? So if you get a couple of tokens sticking, right? It's free tokens, right? You're literally getting free tokens. If these tokens get to dollars, that is a free dollar just for putting it up. And you're gonna hold it anyway. Not financial advice, this is just for entertainment purposes. But I do definitely have a different opinion on staking, or definitely a different favor, because I never thought about it like that way, right? If you get the tokens now and it goes up, it's literally free money. And I got to check to see, I want to say, actually, we could look, stake.io for Zebec. I think it was 15%. Let's see. What is this? .io, I think stake, slash stake maybe? Now here it is, staking. Or is it stake.io? That's weird. Let me go back and check that. Make sure we go to the right place. So this is it. No, I didn't tell you the API though. That's weird. See if we can. Oh yeah, it is 8% per month, bro. That's okay. For 3 months it's 12%, and for 4 months it's 15%. Yeah. So on Uphold you can stake Atom. and it is 15% every 5 days. So if you do the math, you can make a whole lot. Yeah, Cosmos. Is it Cosmos? Yeah. So you can make a pretty good amount. Oh, wow, it's up 5%. That's weird. But yeah, you can make a pretty good amount just staking and waiting, right? You don't even have to move it around because I was just buying and selling, trying to make money. And I realized I can just put the whole lump sum and stake it at 15% every 5 days and wait it out, right? It's like a savings account, but it's a crypto savings account. So let me know what you guys think. Let's finish out this little video. Let me go back to the chat real quick. I guess in the bottom, 27, 28. Planning on that mark long before 005. Planning on that mark long before 0. What are you staking BTM? I'm always be skeptical about staking, bro. I was skeptical, but with Uphold, I ain't had no problems, right? And I had no problems with staking with Zebec. Now I have ran into shaking, tripping. But so far, Uphold and Zebec have been fine. I have heavy bag stake now. I'll roll it on the super app when monitor. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Do you have to unlock them? You'd have to unlock them to put them on super app. And I'm sure they're not going to roll from Zebec stake to the super app. So I might wait. I don't know. I hope super app offers even higher API. Yeah, Phantom Beats, that would be awesome, right? If it's more than 15%, I'm dumping everything in it. Selling everything but the XRP, bro, and staking. Yeah, Jake Quartz. It probably would hit the 005 next week at the following week. You think it's going to hit the 005 next week? We'll see. I have to keep checking. Whatever that's not staking ZBIC, it's straight. Whoever's not staking ZBIC, they're straight up tripping. Same with XDN, Metal Blockchain, and XPR. Why not stake since it's all down, especially if you're long term? Correct. And you could stake XPR. Where are you staking XPR at? That's interesting. Let me see. Who was that? You said staking XPN. Let me see if we can stake XPN on here. Is this where I have my XPN? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Can you stake it though? Yeah, can you stake XCN on I'm tripping. Can you stake I don't think you can stake that on here. On what is this? Uphold. I don't think you can stake on Uphold. You might be able to stake it somewhere else. I'm just not taking too many chances. Like you mentioned too. Oh wow, really? Really? I'm looking at staking and it keeps popping up with cryptos. It's not what I'm looking for, bro. That's not what I'm looking for. Search for assets. So maybe it's not the right place to search. Oh, there we go. I'm tripping. Okay, so you got Cosmos at 15%, Bitender at 3%, Casper 12%, Polkadot 10%, and just 8%, Axelero 7%, Kuzmo 7%, Solana 5%, wow, 5%, Songbird 4%, Flare 3%, HBAR 3%, Near 3%, Avalanche 3%, Ether 2%. You ain't getting nothing for Avalanche for Ether. Oasis 2%, Polygon 2%, Cardano 1%, Sui 1%, and Algo 0.22%. Why would you even stake that? But yeah, with the Cosmos currently at 15%, I want to say Cosmos is probably the highest on Uphold. Can you stake on other platforms? They'd be kind of nervous, right, with the whole FTX thing. And then if you stake and the something happens, right? I can't take that chance, bro. Can't take that chance. Where are we? Okay, wow, we're pretty high up. Let's finish these last 3 minutes, and then chat.
Allows me to see some ETFs that include Zebec in it, whether they're digital asset payment ETFs, they're DeFi ETFs. But that is something we do expect to see this year, and I think it would be a great, vote of confidence for the project and for the token.
And digital asset treasury company conversations are taking place?
They were last year. There was, I think, 2 or 3 different digital asset treasuries that were looking to add ZBCN to the balance sheet. Obviously, that market has gone cold for the time being. And at the same time, it's not really a huge priority for Zebec, given our focus is really much more on building the network and building the utility.
Awesome. Now, one last question here for you, Simon. Appreciate everything that you've provided for us here today. When it comes to Zebec Network governance, can you explain that process? Who's determining, the ongoing governance of the network?
So we have a decentralized model, like most crypto companies, and we operate as a DAO.
Okay.
The ZBCN token works as a voting mechanism. We have improvement proposals that do come up from time to time when we need to make governance decisions. For example, when we transition from ZBC to ZBCN, there was a vote involved. So any major network decisions typically go to votes. It's really based on the number, the amount of ZBCN that holder has equals the number of votes that they get in the DAO.
Yeah. Well, Simon, I think that you have answered a lot of my questions. I am, just pleasantly surprised every time I come behind and find a crypto project that's building real utility, nailing down the tokenomics and doing it right. Over 10% of the total supply is staked. All of the other utility that you're building out and the real numbers that we're seeing with real enterprise clients. It's a breath of fresh air in this crypto space that is so diluted. And so, Simon, in closing, is there anything else that you'd like our audience to know?
Well, I think you summed it up pretty well, Zach, and we really appreciate the kind words as well as the due diligence that you've clearly done on us to ask all these great questions. We've been around for a while. We've been building from 2021. 2025 was a transformative year for Zebec. I think 2026 is going to be our best year yet. We're really well positioned for a lot of the major trends and narratives in the market right now. We have an incredibly dedicated team behind us, and we're not going anywhere. So onwards and upwards, and thanks to all the XRP and ZBCN community that listen in today and have interest in what we're building.
Love it. I can tell that you are locked in, Simon, and we're excited to follow along. So thank you for joining us today. Everybody out there, if you could help us out by liking this video, sharing it out far and wide, I think that the community is going to love this conversation. So share it out for us. All the rest of my community resources are available at zachrector.com, and we greatly appreciate your support. We'll see you in the next one.
Thanks, Zach.
I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.
Today, Bitcoin closes the week above $91,000. Bank of America upgrades Coinbase to a buy rating from neutral, and Franklin Templeton's Roger Baston explains the firm's partnership with Wyoming on the state's stable token, which is now available.
So this is my main man Rue, and he's talking about Black Rose token. So let me run this, but actually look at be back. What's going on here? Why is this taking so long to oh there we go. That's weird. Can you hear me when that happens? Let me see something here. Is that talking? Let me see. Weird. Can you hear me? Let me run this. Okay. Support the channel. Just remember that you can And dang, so it just disconnects. All right, but yeah, uh, actually, so we're here, uh, open for real. That's weird. But yeah, let me finish this up real quick and I'll come back for the questions.
Will. Okay. So Zebec followed them. Very, very interesting. I think I know exactly what this means. Okay. Now, let me give you a little backstory here. So, XCN Onyx, okay, they have a few investors. For us to understand, let's understand Visa, NASDAQ Ventures, and Fiserv, okay? And then let's understand what an Onyx is. So Onyx coin, let's go ahead and show you what an Onyx is. If you're not familiar, we're going to go ahead and fill up an Onyx for you. This, my friends, is an Onyx. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go to one of the friends of the channel here, Shook Focus Digital. I think he was one of the first people to point this out. Let's go ahead and listen in to Shook here. Okay.
This major players area, and there's JP Morgan Chase right there. And I'm like, man, what in the world? JP Morgan is literally right there with both of these two other players. Like, what are we missing? And then it just hit me. It's like, it's so simple. It's what we did with
JP Morgan Chase, Fiserv, and Visa. Okay. These are, right? We just saw them as investors in Onyx, right? Fiserv and Visa. And then we got JP Morgan Chase. If you guys aren't following Shook Focus Digital, he's one of the best Onyx coin researchers out there. Definitely give our guy Shook Focus Digital a follow. But let's continue here.
project. So I decided to go back to tried and true Investopedia and look at who's behind JP Morgan. So we scroll down and we look at, let's see, top 3 individual shareholders, right? And then we got, here we go, the institutional shareholders. Vanguard, we already knew that in the first video, but I completely ignored BlackRock sitting right here. I completely ignored it. Now you're like, well, what does that have to do anything? That's why the names are the same, because they're stemming from BlackRock, bro.
And here's a comment from someone. Here's another coincidence I just realized. Onyx is a Blackstone, or you could say a Black Rock. Okay? We just showed you an Onyx, a Blackstone, a Black Rock. Very coincidentally, okay, if we go over here to this ecosystem of Ondo, right? Connexes by JP Morgan. Do you know what Connexes used to be called? Well, guess what? It used to be called Onyx. Okay? It used to be called Onyx. And they changed the name, right? So you would not associate it to Onyx, to the other Onyx, which, of course, we know is following Zebec here. Wait a minute now. We're going to pull it all back. So I'm proposing that this Onyx is the exact same as JP Morgan's Connexes, right? Okay, which is why Zebec followed them. Now we're going to bring it all the way back here in a second here. This is going to be really great, really good. Let's do it. So why even now we got Onyx connected to Connexes connected to JP Morgan? Because Connexes used to be Onyx, and Onyx is, we're saying they're the same thing with the shared investors, right? So what does JP Morgan have to do with everything? Well, guess what? JP Morgan and Canton just announced the deal together. JP Morgan is deploying JPM coin, their stable coin, on Canton Network, its second permissionless blockchain after Base. Canton is backed by Goldman Sachs, BNP Paribas, Deutsche Bank, and BNY Mellon, offering configurable privacy for institutions, right? And guess what we just showed you guys, right? The only payroll processor for FedNow is connected to Zebec, okay? Now, let's look at this even more, okay? Let's look at the block and what they said about it. Okay? So, this is their stable coin, and they're connected it to Canton. Are there any Canton connections to Zebec? Well, guess what? Zebec cards follows Canton. Okay? So, if we do all of these connections here, Canton followed by Zebec cards. Canton does a deal with JP Morgan. JP Morgan has Connexes. Connexes used to be called Onyx. That Onyx is actually Onyx Chain. And Onyx is a black rank. And JP Morgan, as Shook told us, is owned partially by BlackRock. Okay. Are there any other connections where we could connect these? Well, yes, there are. Ondo Finance. Okay. Connexes by JP Morgan. BlackRock. And Zebec. Okay. My, oh my. Okay. Just more connections to Canton and Zebec. And remember the show we did before. Check out the show we did before connecting Canton and Zebec with with Simon Babakani shaking hands with the head of digital assets at the DTCC, and we know Canton has a deal with the DTCC.
So I need to go back and check that out because Canton is big, right? Everybody's been telling me keep an eye on those guys because they're going to push past the regulation and get all the way live. And Zebec is working with them. It's only a matter of time before they take off. And I keep wanting to get to the chat, but I keep trying to do other things. Like I got to get something from the door real quick. So, let's run
Welcome
Mr.
back,
Forsyth.
all my free thinkers, to another episode of Grow Rich, Grow Happy, that place where we follow the breadcrumbs of wealth. I know you guys are not going to complain, but I'm about to do a Zebec video. I thought I seriously did. I was done for the week. But alas, one of you community members want to shout out. It's my TCs who said in yesterday's video, I'll flash that up here. Make sure you check that out, guys, so you can hear the all the updates of the tokenomics and everything that went on with the Zebec spaces that went on yesterday with Simon Babakani. Anyway, he said, please tell me you saw the interview with Zach Rector and Simon Babakani. Gave me bullish goosebumps. Now, how you gonna drop something like that and not expect me to go check it out? Well, I heard about it, but I finally went and I checked it out. I listened to the entire, so roughly 20 7 minutes. Make sure you as well. You'll see his info in there as well. But what I'm going to do, I want to talk about this because I got my notes here, and it's a few things in it we're going to talk about because there's a major Easter egg that was dropped. Is that correct to say Easter egg? Anyway, major Easter egg, and it's about XRP and the XRP ledger. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And so for all my Zebec holders out there, get excited because this is something worth getting excited about. And I'm going to show you why this is big and why it only means one thing. There's only one place to go once this news drops officially for ZBCN, and that is up. So you guys are going to love this one. Stay tuned. But if this is your first time here to Grow Rich, Grow Happy, my name is Mr. Foresight, and I am here to help you win in life and in crypto. You can't do one without doing the other. So I offer tools to help you evaluate crypto projects a lot better, and so that you have an understanding and so that you do not waste money. That's what this is about. Positivity and help you survive life. Not only survive, let's just say conquer life. If this sounds like a channel for you, by all means, do me a favor, smash that like button. A lot of viewers, but you guys subscribe to the channel. Does wonders. Share this content. And as always, like I said, smash that like button. Check out all the things I have down below that does go to support the channel. All the hard work we do here at Grow Rich, Grow Happy. Get your cold storage wallet account on those as well. It's what us, the free thinkers, believe in storing our crypto on. Do not trust it on the exchange. That 10% does go to support the channel. Swing over to growrichgrowhappy.com. Check out all the freebies I have over there for you. And while you're over there, consider purchasing my book for coming self for crypto wealth. Got a download edition and a check it out, guys. And the first thing to talk about this is this is what I thought. I thought when they said that's much going to be X spaces from yesterday. And while they did talk about a few of those things, there's a little bit more detail in this. And I got my hats off to Zach Rector, who asked a lot of hard questions and a lot of questions that us, the community, really wanted to know about. And Simon didn't shy away from those. He really brought it. And he got us hyped. He got us really hyped. So one of the things he's happy about, and I'm going to answer one of the questions. He actually answered the question that many of my community members have, and that's when is the super app going to launch? And it's going to be rolling out in phases this month right here throughout February. And it's like I told you in yesterday's video, it is going to be predominantly on then on this year to come over well, has their phone with them, and they really do things from the top. So that's great. And one of the things also, I keep looking at this, how they've transformed things at Zebec to where ZBCN is a necessity, which is going to help the token grow. They did that because before, and Zach pointed this out, before it really was optional if clients used the ZBCN token to transact with their cards. They had the option to use stable coins, but now, the ZBCN token has to be used. So I love that that's how they transformed it to make it more utility rather than predominantly governance. And their buyback. Now, here's the thing about the buybacks. The cards launched in 2023, and that's where all of the revenue with the buybacks and everything comes from. It comes from there. But over the years, and they launched in 2023, they've had 70% growth over those couple years. And no other card provider supports as many chains as Zebec, which is at 19 chains right now. $65 million, guys, in annualized volume by the end of 2025. And they're expecting that to double and maybe even more this year. So this is going to be an amazing year for Zebec. And the fact that predominantly majority of the business is done here in the US, which is great because they're an American company. And if President Trump has his way, and I really hope he revisits the whole thing about no crypto taxes on companies that are based, crypto companies that are based in the US, because Zebec will be one and they're leading the pack when it comes to people going to make their money. With the US having $11 trillion market foothold when it comes to payroll globally, 20 to 40 trillion. They're going to be striking out more. I hate to say striking out. They're going to be basically migrating out more, if that's even a thing, to other countries and focusing more on that as time goes. Right now, guys, you know, you can stake up to 5 million of your Zebec tokens. Give me a shout out if you have 5 million Zebec tokens more down below. I'm not trying to tell your business, but let me know. Thing we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about XRP because that's where the real story is. So what I want to do, I want you for yourself. And we're going to go right here. Whoever Ghost is, we're going to shout you out because you posted this, and I'm going to put this up here because I want you guys to hear it. And then I'm going to tell you what else was said afterwards. Check this out.
Of course, our origins are Solana. I mean, we've been backed by Solana Ventures. That's been home for many, many years. But in our view, payroll streaming should not be contained to Solana. And this year is the first year that we're going to really expand that outside of Solana. Of course, the Zebec cards are already working in 19 different chains, and we're going to see the payroll now coming onto some more payment-focused blockchains. So we're going to start with Stellar, with XLM. We've been working with them now for months, and we're going to be making an official announcement in the coming weeks about Zebec actually launching payroll on the Stellar blockchain and tapping into the Stellar remittance network. We also think that XRP and XRPL make a lot of sense as well and will be a focus for us in 2026.
An explosion, another explosion. Let me tell you why that is a major thing, because depending on how long you've been holding this asset or how long you've been following Zebec, you know, with just the mention of Simon saying, you know, him mentioning XRP did to the price the last time this happened. But in case you didn't, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to show you what it did. So here we go right here. We're up like a big dog. We're now 203, which is great. Over the last 24 hours, we're up 5%. And over the 7-day, we're up 19%. And all of crypto is going up because this is not a bear cycle. I keep telling everyone that. And anyway, I'm going to come down here because what I really want you guys to see is back here. If you look at the all-time high, can you guys see that? You can see the all-time high here, May 30th, 2025. We were at 207. We were so close to hitting that 1 cent mark. Well, part of that, there's a lot of things can be baked into that, but I believe, let me know down below if I'm wrong, but I believe it was the mention of XRP. XRP was what got us there. Now, here's the part that video didn't cover. After he said that right there, he said that that'll be their focus this year. First, they're going to be, because right now they're mainly Solana blockchain. You know, that's their backer. That's who they started out on. But their goal is to be integrated into all of the chains. But the first one that they're hitting, and they've been in talks with them, and we should hear more about that this particular month, is XLM. XLM, guys, Stellar blockchain. So once they're integrated into that blockchain, and they're major. Now, here's the thing. You got to look at this as a major breadcrumb. There's no way they're going to be integrated into Stellar and not end up on the XRP ledger. Now, they say they've been in talks with Ripple and the RLUSD team. Now, already, I don't know if many of you know this, but the stablecoin, the Ripple stablecoin, RLUSD, they've already integrated that particular stable card, across the Zebec network.
Okay, so now we're back, right? Sorry about that, but we're back. Want to go through the chat, and he's right. They're already working on. If it's not already integrated through the Zebec Network, they're working on facilitating that stable coin through the project, or through the platform. Let's see. Let's go back through the chat. Uh, Everything he just said, literally free money, and this is incentivization won't last long. You're right. You got to jump on that. It's free money. Friend did 5 million staking. Just unlock it. He got over 20Ks. Well, 20K Zebec. I would put it right back in there. Or actually, I think the max is 5. I would look. You have 2 accounts. I'll have 1 account with all the returns. I would restake them and keep restaking that 5 million over and over and over, and add to the other account from all the reward. Like keep the 5 million there and keep taking the reward out and putting into another account. But yeah, you're right. It ain't gonna last long, guys. Nope, 15%. Yeah, it ain't gonna last. Right. Soon as they come in the super app, I bet you they let us stake it for maybe 6 months and then drop all of it off. I've never had issues staking for folks who's scared to stake. Just make sure you transfer to the right. Yes. Hitter all day for sure. Now I'm telling you, um, we're big in Ethereum, right? I was mining Ethereum. So a friend of mine had staked 2 million. I can't remember if it's $2 worth, 2 million. Must have been $2 million worth. I don't know. He staked it, and the staking platform he staked went out of business. Right, the whole thing went down. It wasn't that somebody stole their crypto or something broke. The whole site went out of business. So of course he lost everything. And that was my first kind of question about staking. But with the Zebec, I trust Zebec. I don't think Zebec is going out of business anytime soon. So I would definitely be comfortable with staking them. And I don't think their website's going away. And if they did, I'm pretty sure they would have something set up for all the people to stake, right? They're not just going to leave us hanging. So I would stake that and not worry about it. But initially, there were some worries and concerns about staking, right? I've seen people lose a lot of money, a lot of ways, and a lots of parts of crypto. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I'm in crypto since like 2011 or 12. So I definitely know they are pitfalls. I've lost crypto. I got scanned out of crypto. I got crypto on wallets. I can't even remember where they are. So I definitely remember a lot of things that are going down. First time watching the channel, YouTube gave me a network, checking your content. I see some familiar faces in the chat. So I'm intrigued. Nice to meet you. Hope you are with Underdog. Bro, stop lying, man. You was on the Black Tiger Miner, bro. You've been on the Black Tiger. This is Black Tiger Miner. I just changed the name to BTM Crypto. It's the same YouTube channel, bro. I just changed the name. But yeah, I remember we were talking about was it Turbo? Yeah, Turbo, and they had done something with what is that? Nakamoto or something? I gotta go back and remember. It was one of the projects that they did, and it was some kind of animation company, and we were talking, and then they just kind of stopped talking about it. So I don't know. But I know there was a lot of changes at the management at Turbo. And that's why I stopped doing Turbo videos, because the group changed a lot. Initially, it was a different group altogether. Then the group changed and the direction kind of went a different direction. I remember working with Johnny Turbo, and from there, a lot was going on when he left. things weren't really going on that much. Snaps. Oh man, here we go with this skin. Can we not just get a list, please? I'd have to find the list. But yeah, I know who you are, Underdog. You can watch the videos, bro. We talked before. And what is that? Indigo Saint at the beginning of the video. You showed me the metaverse you're working on. But let's get back to business. The more you get locked, eventually it'll say at 15%, use it or lose it, take advantage. Yeah, it won't stay. Definitely can't stay at 50%. Needs to pause at the 0042. Stake XPR and metal on the Web Authority wallet. I need to go back and check that. I set it up, but actually I have crypto there. That's what I'm saying, man. I be setting stuff up. It goes for a while, and I don't even have time to look back at it, right? And then I lose track of it. I don't know. 30% on Onyx as well. Who got 30%? They're staking. Who? Who's staking? Give you 30% on who's taking 30% on Onyx? Staking 30%. Wait, who's getting 30%? Who's letting you stake and giving you 30%? I got plenty of XCN, bro. I could switch that over tonight in a couple of minutes, bro. Metallic is nice. Stake your XPR and get loan protocol in return. Black Tiger Miner, long time. Just got the first notification from your channel in months. Hope you're aware. Yeah, no problem, Underdog. I need to circle back with you. I talked with Black Root. He was saying that he was working with you as well. Like, oh man, I've been talking to Underdog since I can't remember. Was that Turbo? I can't remember what project that was. I want to say it's Turbo, but I have to go back and check. And I wish I could get Turbo to come up without doing this total web protection thing. Let me see if I can pull it up on Chrome. Because I'm not, hopefully it doesn't work on Chrome, or it's not going to happen on Chrome. If the Chrome ever comes up, because it was a Chinese animation company or something. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Let me see. Let me see here. Wait a minute. Just open it. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. And stake USDC. No. Oh, come on, Turbo. Oh man, I'll come back and check. For some, I'm questioning them gains on all the forms. Metal, XPR, Phantom. You can stake on Phantom and Zebec, Cosmos. Don't dot stake. Cosmos and dot. I'll stake next. You can stake on Phantom, bro. I'm tripping. Some people got robbed stake, bro. That's what I'm saying, man. I'm just hater all day and had some good luck, bro. I know people that have got straight jacket crazy. I'm telling you, man. No jokes. All jokes aside, bro. People have literally lost their mind from losing crypto that's staked. I'm talking about literally in a asylum currently, bro. Like completely lost their mind behind the Ethereum that was staked, and these guys just disappeared, man. They freaking you log in, it doesn't come up. Pulling up soon. And they did literally lost everything, right? I know people that lost everything with FTX. Like lost everything. I know a guy was building a house in Jamaica or something. And he had all his money in Bitcoin, and these guys went out of business, and he can't get the Bitcoin. So just be careful. All I'm saying, guys, be careful. Yeah, Atom, Header all day. You're doing right. Web Authority. College football time. Good luck, everyone. Until next time. Well, courts, you're right. I think we probably need to shut it down anyway. API on my USDC lending is back over 18%. Man, I gotta get my Web Authority on, bro. Y'all done sold me. Yeah, explained it earlier about Onyx is a BlackRock, definitely. Peter, what is this? The Zebec has super deflammatory tokenomics. Just hold your tokens. They'll be worth more than gold and diamonds. Back room? I think that says. I'm not even sure what that says. But yeah, you're right, right? I mean, you can hold, but I'm telling you, uh, after staking my little what is that? My little atom on um Uphold, right? It's free money, right? Free, and I don't even have that much stake. And I was like, bro, I should have been doing this a long time ago. But then I can only stake on certain things because I'm not trying to risk it, right? If I staked it on Uphold, I'm sure Uphold will be fine, right? I'm not losing with Uphold. The staking rewards will be decreased when the app comes out. I'm assuming they can't keep giving away this amount of free Zebec tokens as volumes they're becoming. Lock them bags up now before you're right, right? I mean, but anything, right? It can't keep doing it. It can't keep 5 million club BB. What up, Gerald? Again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, king, queens, and in-betweens. Do not disclose how much you're holding, guys. I'm telling you. I've seen and heard several things and know for a fact they're literally cutting people's fingers off trying to get their crypto, man. So definitely keep it cool, man. Just say you got a lot. Don't actually give specific numbers. I mean, it's not a competition. We're all in the same boat, and people are all going to make out pretty well. But I don't want someone seeing you online and following you home from the gas station trying to cut your fingers off for crypto. Drugs and not just off boats. Could be. I have 5 million staked. I wish I could stake more. Can only do 5 million. You can if you do separate wallets. Yeah, I wanted to wait for the app for more staking. That's what I'm waiting on. I don't want to do it and then until you got to unlock it and then put it in. I put it in. I put it on hold for a month waiting for the app. The app will be tight. We'll see staking amounts double to support the network. Rate will have to drop for rewards. Facts Phantom. First time turning in. See you all discussing POS protocols. Tuning in. Well, thanks for joining. I guess this is Sham Wow. Appreciate that, fam. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and super chat. Just trying to keep the lights on here on the BTM Crypto News Network. Casper Network. You talking about Casper or Casper? Right? Because there's a Casper that's kind of weird, like Casper. I don't know. 15% APY staking. Casper, they are not a new coin, but significant amount of recent development. I believe price will catch up to development. They are currently hosting a hackathon. Really? We need to look those guys up. What is this? I'll stick on the app, but never my full bag, just 3 mil. Casper Trash, every needs a little Canton. Yeah, I got Canton, actually. Canton's, I think, is a safe play. And these guys have been telling me for some time about Phantom coming. not Phantom, about Canton coming. And when it did come, it did work out well. Uh, but I guess thanks for joining, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and super chat. It's your main man BTM signing off. Thanks for all the information and wow, I got this on turbo. I'm tripping. Thanks for all the information and all the research and the Zebec. So stay tuned for more updates with Zebec. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And stay dangerous. And as always, let's get back to the money. But it's your main man BTM signing out. Like you said, the game's coming on, so I need to slide on over to the TV. But I guess I'll see you when I see you. Check me out soon. Same bat channel, same bat time. And thanks for the support. And I might do a Caspa video later. Generally, I get tired and fall asleep, but if I'm up, I'll do something with Caspa later on, 9:30, 10 o'clock. But as always, peace out and see you when I see you. Miners out.